LinkedIn Live. Mark Elder in the house, Julian Placino, and Foster Williams, the job father. Career search at CityWorks. Career search at CityWorks. Come on, man. Y'all make it. Give us your comments on LinkedIn Live. Jake Melton in the house. No. Tell us, Foster, what's it about?
Who? Yeah, no.
Hey, welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
Howdy ho.
Where what you know is important, but who y'all know
can make all the difference in your job search.
Who you know can make all the difference in your job search. My name is Trevor Houston, in the studio with the Three Musketeers. I got Foster Williams, the job father, and Mark Elder, a.k.a. the Big Toe.
I'm right here in the corner where the 8-ball goes.
Somebody's audio is going on. Turn your audio off.
Somebody's
all right, so real quick, I want to know from the audience if you can see us on LinkedIn Live, because we are playing around with a couple of different things going on. I know Mark's going on.
My feed is on. My feed is on.
This is your first LinkedIn Live?
First LinkedIn Live.
Congratulations. Hey.
And we'll see what happens.
Do you see it from my profile, though, guys? I need to know if you can find it from mine, because I don't even see my own.
It says Mark Elder is watching.
No, you guys can't see it from me?
I don't see it.
That's all.
So we turned Mark on and shut me down? Is that what happened?
No. Here, let me look at your profile, though. You should go to your profile and see if it's on there.
Oh, you know what? Go to the company page. Can you go to the company page?
The company page.
Yeah, go to the company page.
Try the Who You Know.
One of them's is on. One of them, I bet.
Okay. TM Houston.
Yeah, check it out. Check out the company page. Let's see if it's coming from there. I don't know what's going on, but if you guys can find me, we'll try to figure it out. We're dealing with some new changes. So I do see Mark's profile. That's good. Mine's not going yet.
I don't see it.
No, you guys don't see it? Mm-mm. That's interesting. That's all right. Well, we're just going to keep going. We're real excited today because we've got some very special guests with us in the house. My man, how do you say it, Foster? In all the 50 grand?
My man in the whole 50 grand.
In the whole 50 grand. John Luse in the house. What's going on, John?
Of Frisco Connect, guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk all about everything John Luse, Frisco Connect, Reach Up, Reach Out, all of that good stuff today. So we're excited.
What does it look like?
Yep.
In Frisco.
And we also have another very special guest with us today, Christopher Plumlee. Is I say it right?
Plumlee.
Yeah. So close. Bless. Somebody needs to fire me from this thing. I can't do names. I just don't do it.
Yep.
He has done horrible over the years with names.
Hey, guys. Again, we are broadcasting from KVGI and from my account. For some reason, Trevor's is not coming on. So what we need you to do, everybody just right now, take your mouse, take your little cursor there, and just move it on down to that arrow that says share.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Share it.
I've heard that before.
I'm just going to try to disconnect mine and then reconnect it.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, we're going to try that.
Hey, Foster, by the way, Tommy Lindsay says he's got a great red and black polo shirt for you.
Ooh, Tommy, are you trying to tell me something, bro?
He said #guns up.
Oh, man. Oh, you see my shirt that I'm wearing now, and I actually,
that's right.
My first college was actually Baylor, Sick 'em Bear.
Oh.
Sick 'em Bears.
So you're a Baylor babe.
I am a true Baylor Bear and a Texas Longhorn lover.
Wow.
Well, as always, we need to start it off right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's bless this show with a prayer for our listeners, okay?
Okay. Job seekers, let's do this. Let's take a moment. You guys bow with me. Let's ask God, because honestly, he's the only one that's going to make a difference in the whole job search. We have to ask him. You have not, for you ask not, so we're not going to be short on asking. So, Father, we thank you for another day.
Amen.
We thank you for getting us up and down the roads to the many things that we run across and cross people's path in life. The opportunity to develop relationships and good friends along the way. These are all part of your plans, and we are asking that you find us the right opportunity. one that we can enjoy ourselves and understand why we're going to work and that type of things. And when we're there, and we know that you will give us a job when we're there, remind us to ask you to help us do our jobs, especially when we run into challenging situations. And we ask for the health and strength to do it all in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Well, let's get to a couple of landings. We got some blessings, right? So
Donna Wishart landed.
Donna Wishart.
It took a little while, but Donna Wishart landed at the Jack FM. I think it was the Jack FM. Donna, or if you're on there, correct me, because there has been a change at the radio station. Well, the one change is they hired you. It's going to be awesome.
Well, congratulations to you. That is awesome. Let's get some hands, Mark. Come on, let's get some hands.
Right.
Woo! I need to see some hands on LinkedIn. Woohoo! And let's see, who else do we have? Chris. What was his last name?
What was Chris? Do you remember?
Chris's last name.
Tall Chris.
He landed at Edward Jones, got connected from Bob Ernst. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was retired from the Air Force.
Yeah. Gosh.
There's my buddy.
Come on, it's right.
Knight.
It's right on the tip of my tongue. Chris, you're probably online with us today.
You're online. Chime in and tell us what your last name.
Yeah, congratulations to you. We also have another one in here. We just got Adriana Aldred just commented in and said that she landed as well. So, guys.
Oh, Adriana, good.
Yeah. And her comments were all full of hope and all that good stuff. She said
Chris Smith.
Chris Smith. Yeah, congratulations, Chris Smith.
Yeah, it was Chris Smith.
We did get your name right. About time.
Eventually.
So, guys, we would love to hear your story about how you're landing. How did you land that job? What did it finally take to make it happen? Was it technology? Was it who you know? Was it a networking thing? Did it just fall out of the sky? Sometimes it does that, right? So you just never know where it's going to come from. So we've got a very good audience on with us on Mark's profile today. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Very good. This is the first time.
Mark's profile.
First time. So Norma, how are you doing, Norma? Eddie
I saw you this morning, and Eddie. Eddie lives here in Frisco.
We got Marty Upton. How are you doing, Marty? Good to see you.
Hey. Marty.
Hey, Big Toe, can you look for us? Can you try to get it on my LinkedIn as well? I'm going to try to hit both sides. I don't know why mine's not going, but we'll try to get it there as well. David Long, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
Eddie, is Jerry with us as well? Tell him to chime in.
So
you noops.
So David Long came through our workshop the other day, and apparently me and his daughter went to high school together.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and she was the photographer there, and she told him a crazy story about me. I guess I was spanking a ham.
Really? You weren't doing a ham bone, but you were spanking a ham.
And I was like, I don't remember spanking a ham, but but I like
sounds like a personal problem.
I was like, don't put it past me, and
don't put it past me.
and then he told me a little bit more. He said, yeah, you were working for like a barbecue place.
Now we're talking.
And they were doing for the school. They were doing like pictures on people that had jobs, that were working in high school. And so I guess they came to Sonny Bryan's barbecue.
Right.
I guess I spanked the ham.
How come? Plus, it was a barbecue. How come you weren't there?
It was barbecue, and I didn't know anything about spanking any ham.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Does that have anything to do with marinating or sugar glaze or something?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting, but
yeah, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
It does sound like me.
So we have Meg Rose with us as well, guys.
Meg, what's going on? How are you doing?
Meg Rose.
Hey, Meg Rose.
Good to see you.
And Michelle Chastain and Vez, and we're going to continue to move ahead with all of our listeners.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk
what
about
we got going on.
Yeah, let's talk about some events and things we got going on. Let's see. I know when is the next career transition workshop?
The next career transition workshop is Friday, the 31st of January.
Oh, January. Okay.
January 31. I got to get that on my website.
That'll be right around the corner. You guys need to go check that out at stonebriarcommunitychurch.com. Is that what it is? Stonebriar Community Church?
Stonebriar.org.
I should know that. Stonebriar.org.
Yeah. And it's BRIAR.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and guys, tomorrow is South Lake Focus Group. So, job seekers, I suggest that you guys go to southlakefocusgroup.com and check out all the particulars and come by and visit. South Lake Focus Group, guys, the reason that I'm mentioning it is because it is the largest job seeker networking group in Dallas-Fort Worth. It serves the entire DFW Metroplex, and it has been tremendous. I've been involved for about 16 years. And, guys, if you're in job search, at least once, even if you live in McKinney, at least once you want to go by and visit South Lake Focus Group. Look at the dynamics there. Meet the people that are there.
Absolutely. You got to go down there.
They've got a great team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I heard
I'm part of that team. I'm one of the leaders.
I heard they have like over 100 leaders over there or something like that. Like, I mean, it's a big organization over there.
It's a big. You'll meet about 300 people in attendance at one given time. Our leadership team over the many years that I've been there is well over 100 people. We have a very, very large leadership team because we have a lot of activity that needs to be kept up with there.
Mm.
Tell us a little bit about Foster, a little bit about some of the different programs and different stuff that they got going on over there.
Well, what you guys do, the newcomers, your first time there, we have an orientation. So if you're there for the first time, you will be separate in a different room. And during that time, the folks tell you what the group is all about and how to best utilize that group. And so the next time that you show up, the next Thursday, because we meet every Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, guys, in South Lake. It is at 185 South Whitechapel Road, right at the corner of 1709 and Whitechapel Road is the Whitechapel United Methodist Church. And we are in Evans Hall. It's a big hall. You'll walk in, there'll be about 300 people in there. We are down to 300 people. We used to be in excess of 400 people.
Right.
And you know, you remember when the stock market had to crash and all that in 08?
The Great Recession of 2008.
The Great Recession of 08. And the subsequent years, 09 and 010, people were loaded. Everybody's looking for a job. And so we had in excess of 400 people at one time. Those were the beginnings, not of the group, but of some of the methodology that we use going forward to serve that many people that are in job search. Now, the Search for You, the company Search for You networks groups like that across Dallas. They're not all that size, but there are about 65 or 70 of those groups just in Dallas-Fort Worth. So when you hear me, Trevor, and Mark talking about the network, that is what we're talking about.
It's a huge network. I mean, and there's so many little subgroups all over the place.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's true. South Lake, like Frisco Connect, is a general networking.
It's a general
group.
networking
It's
group.
not focused on any
John's
particular
got focus on it.
on any particular occupation.
That's right.
And it's a great way to meet people and get yourself out there and promote yourself. They do a wonderful job.
Yeah, we invite companies like at Frisco Connect. We're a little spoiled at Frisco Connect, but a number of companies come out and visit job seekers. If you got a room with 300 job seekers, everybody's in there. Most of the people in there looking for a job. If you are a company with 30, 40, 50 jobs, you don't have that much. And all of these people are looking for a job. Why aren't you there?
You're spending all this money on
You feel me
Indeed.
knocking corporate America?
I feel you knocking. Look, you're spending all this money on Indeed and all these tools.
Yeah, and
which may be great tools, but
they are wonderful tools.
You know
you
what?
guys spend a lot of money on a lot of recruiting tools.
Great tools to be
and
lazy.
The people that respond to your jobs and
Great
people
tools
that you
to be-
hire are out of the network that I'm talking about.
Great tools to be lazy.
Great
To sit at home with a computer.
And Trevor mentioned subgroups. You know, in the Career Search Network, there are subgroups or what they call focus groups or special interest
groups.
SIGs, we call them for short.
Yeah.
Got to have an acronym, right?
Got to have an acronym.
And those are people of like ilk who get together to help
Yeah.
each other and walk alongside each other. So
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff going on.
So we have IT, we have project management, we have HR that I just facilitated a couple hours ago. And it goes on and on and on. Project management, marketing. We have a group called the Magic Group, and it's for marketing, advertising, graphics, and communication. That's what Magic stands for. And it goes on and on and on. There are about 5 major general networking groups that cover the whole Metroplex from Fort Worth. And we have South Lake Focus Group. Fort Worth Career Search Network is Monday morning. every Monday morning at North Fort Worth Baptist Church. Then, of course, South Lake Focus Group. I just told you guys where that is in there in South Lake. And then we have Frisco Connect that is here, and it mainly serves Frisco itself. And there is we did have a group in the Colony, and that group is going to disband and reform, and we're going to be at the Microsoft location starting in March of next year. So we will have a general networking group at Microsoft on Microsoft property itself.
Dang.
So we're excited. We're excited about that. We're really
nice.
excited about that. And Arlington has a group as well. So guys, those are the main general networking groups.
Well, there's an event coming up too called TalentNet. So that's right around the corner.
December 6th.
December 6th. Hey, do your little sound effect, Mark. You know which one I'm talking about. No, not that one. Yes. In a world where Toyota finally opened their doors
to TalentNet Live
and let people in.
So, guys, tell them what TalentNet is.
TalentNet is a phenomenal group led by Mr. Craig Fisher.
Yep.
We call him Fish Dogs. So, Craig Fisher, he works for Allegis Group, and he's been hosting this event called TalentNet. I think this is the 10th year anniversary.
Yeah, it's been around a while.
Yep. And basically, it's a group of recruiters from all kinds of Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies that come out.
Yes.
And it's best practices for them. Like it's
what's the new stuff that we're using in our stuff?
Yeah, it's kind of like you go to Dallas HR and you got all the HR folks, and you go to in our industry it's NAFA. You got all the financial folks. Well, in the recruiting industry, if you want to be at TalentNet, right? All the recruiting folks are going to be there talking about what's working, what's not working, what's frustrating, how what are the best practices. And the cool thing about that is, guess what? Job seekers, you can go to, but you're going to have to pay. Okay,
thinking outside the box.
It's going to cost you a little bit of money. I think it's a couple $100, something like that. You're going to have to register and go. But think about return of investment.
All those companies.
ROI, right? You got to get in there, return of investments. You want a job? Shoot, those are the decision makers. I'm going to go in there and shake hands and kiss babies. That's what I'm going to do. Like a politician, I'll be in there. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Toyota? Hey, what's going on? I'm just saying.
Now, a number of those recruiters that are at TalentNet come out of the network anyway. So I am one of the original founders. Me, John Davis, and John LaMonica, and Gail Houston, and a number of other ones are the original founders of the Texas Recruiter Network. So guess where TalentNet is being what's the word I'm looking? Marketed in. So a number of probably at least 60, maybe even 65% of the recruiters that work at the companies that we're targeting are out of our group to start with anyway, and we're all like family. We all know each other, and we will be at JobNet. We'll be at TalentNet, trying to find out what the latest and greatest of technology and methodologies and other things that we're using in order to find the purple squirrels in some cases.
The purple squirrels and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Foster, you've seen a lot, haven't you? You've seen a lot, Foster.
Yeah, I've been recruiting.
Things have changed.
Long.
So where can people look up the information on
TalentNetLive.com? TalentNetLive.com. Let me make sure I'm not just
is that TalentNetLive.com?
Make sure you're not ad-libbing.
Live.com. No, I'm pretty sure it's TalentNetLive.com, but I could be completely wrong about that. If something weird pops up on this screen, y'all, the views and opinions of this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of TalentNet Live.
Yeah, it's TalentNetLive.com.
See, I did it.
I did it.
I'm just making sure.
You did it. Yeah.
Hey, Monkey Butt, can you pull this up in the stream?
It's already up.
TalentNet Live. Look, it's even got Mr. Craig Fisher on there. We're going to actually be speaking at that event, so we're excited about that. Possibly even live streaming at that event. So we'll see how that goes. But, guys, I would highly encourage you, just saying. Let's see. I don't even know how much it costs. I think it's a couple $100. Let's see.
$200.
Is it $200? Yeah, standard registration, $199. Guys, and if you bring a
guest, it's
$125
each. You get $75 off.
So,
what? Are you kidding me?
I know the job search has
a deal.
It has some financial things going on in your job search, like you're cutting back. But this is not like you're paying for a meal. No, you're investing in yourself.
Yeah,
right.
This is high impact for job seekers.
Go get in front of the decision makers. That's all I'm saying. They're there.
This is not a self-help
No
thing where you go and you got action items to do and everything. No, this is not a self-help. This is a help yourself.
Yes.
Event.
Good point.
And you know what else is you get to hear their point of view. A lot of times we're just in our own little world. We're in our own little box, and we get these job seekers, they get so frustrated because they're like, why aren't they calling me? Or I don't hear anything back. And I get it. I get it. There's a lot of crickets going on. I understand. But maybe go listen to their point of view, and it may change your perspective on things a little bit. And that may just be what it takes to help you land. That's all I'm saying. I get to hear both sides of the story.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, you guys need to go to the talentnetlive.com and look at the speakers, the caliber of speakers, the caliber of companies that's going to be there.
I'll be speaking there. I'll be speaking there.
Trevor's going to be there. I mean, come on.
You guys will find when you attend this event, and I'm gonna preface this so you guys don't shoot me.
Preface it.
But when you guys will find when you attend this event, when you listen to all of the things that are going on from the recruiting side, you will find out that the black hole mainly exists because we are applying for the wrong jobs. We recruiters are so busy, we do not have time to give you a call and say, we appreciate you sending your resume, John Luse, but we have chosen not to talk to you about this opportunity because we didn't see what we needed to see.
Because we don't have an opening
Yep. So
for what you're applying for.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is the black hole exists because there's just a overall lack of common courtesy.
Mostly.
A lack of
Not
focus.
always. Not always. Now, applicant tracking systems are not 100% foolproof.
Right.
But the majority, now I've built applicant tracking systems, guys.
Dang.
And for mostly, it's you're applying for the wrong thing. The recruiters do not see on
yeah.
your resume what they, and thank you, Casey Haston, for helping me with this. We do not see, if a recruiter gets 50 resumes for a position, there may be 3, there may be 4 resumes that actually, that will match the job enough for us to give them a call and talk to them and dig into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I agree and disagree. I know we've talked about that before. Like I get that people are just apply. They got one click apply on LinkedIn and all these things. And you just I know people are doing it, right? I get it. But I see both sides and I also know because of experience with our own company, when people do have and it is a good fit and they still go in the black hole and I got to get them out. Well, right? Like, and you're going, this person and this job description are a match, but no one saw them. A human being didn't actually get to them. So I know that there's a percent, and it may not be a huge percent, but there's a percentage that are not getting seen.
Yeah, there are.
And it's like, it's frustrating. And those job seekers know who you are. You know when you're like, man, I'm perfect. This is my dream job. This is perfect. I got all the qualifications.
And when that's the case, what should that job seeker
You need to go network. You need to go get a human being.
Absolutely.
Well, I agree with that, but I also know that since we're dealing with human beings,
yes,
that how the job description is written, okay, and how it ends up posted on a site or whatnot, may be not what the hiring manager really needs for his team.
100%.
There are those cases.
Okay, it goes through several people.
There are those cases.
If I start going left, you will correct me.
A lot of them are copy pasted.
Right, and some of them are
yeah, it's true.
Right? It's like
some of them are boilerplate.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. And so on both sides of the deal, everybody should be doing their best and their due diligence to get a good job description in the requisition.
Right.
And then the applicant needs to investigate the company.
Yes.
And do their due diligence and then customize their resume, telling the truth in their resume.
Absolutely.
To do keyword matches with the job description so that it will get through the ATS. And to before human eyes, who can then carry it forward from there. Right. And then networking comes in, because if you have those connections with the proper people in that organization, you can get another copy of that resume through human hands and around the applicant tracking system.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's hard work.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of due diligence and a lot of hard work to focus on focus.
Focus.
His shirt reminds me of that shirt that you wear, even though yours doesn't say focus.
Yeah. Guys, this is John Luse, and I want y'all to stay tuned. We do have to cut to a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to hear a lot more from John Luse. He's got a little bit of experience in this stuff too, guys.
Absolutely.
So let's go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll hear a little bit more. All right, LinkedIn Live, don't go anywhere.
All right, and LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. If you are on any of those channels, make sure that you like, tag, and share. But most importantly, share.
All right, we got a great audience with us. Alyssa Swan, Pete Hernandez. What's up, Pete? What's up? Pete is another
Thank you, Pete.
Pete servant leader.
We have
He's a great guy.
We have the venerable Curry Nichols.
Oh,
yeah, Curry's on there.
Yeah, Curry.
Did you guys see what Curry said about us? We're the gangsters of gig.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that's a compliment.
That Larry Anderson, what's going on? Hey guys, so here's what we want you to do. You're tuning in right now, and I know this is a little bit different because normally it's coming from my profile. Today it's at Mark's profile. So here's what we're going to do. We would like for you to hashtag what you're searching for, okay? If you're looking for a job right now, I want you to put hashtag IT, hashtag project management, QA, accounting and finance, whatever it is that you do or you want to do, or maybe even your dream company. I want to know dream companies. I get a lot of times all the time, hey, what companies are you looking at?
No, that's not the proper answer.
Right? And maybe you don't know what you want to do when you grow up. That's fine. What I would recommend is a career coach that can help point you in the right direction. We all have gifts and talents, and a career coach, a good one, can help you figure out, your gifts and talents and what energizes you and really puts you to work and align those with some jobs that you may have no idea that even existed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I would love to see what it is that you do, what you want to do, or maybe a dream company, like hashtag Toyota in the comments section. So...
Got a good comment from Tommy Lindsay. He wrote, I've often heard that if you send your resume to the ATS system and then the internal referring friend cannot get the referral bonus.
Yes.
So you will need to check with your buddy or someone internally on the best protocol for that company.
And he's right on. That's how you use your network.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Right on.
Good, Tommy.
A lot of these companies will pay. Guys, these companies will pay.
You guys that have the full-time jobs, hopefully you have already discussed with your company what your policies are for internal referrals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of companies do it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they will pay. They'll give you some money in your
Unless
pocket.
you're a recruiter like me.
Look, I don't understand why, this is what I've always done. I mean, I'm talking from Harley Davidson all the way up to now, Harley, Hyundai, New York Life. I found out there was some money behind people getting hired, and I've always referred people in.
Yeah,
And
I've always been who you know in it.
and even beyond the money, not just for the money, if you refer someone to your company and they get hired, that's going to reflect on you. So
Yeah,
they will.
and a lot of people are like, "Well, I don't know them. I can't vouch for them." Blah 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 blah. I don't care. I'm going to tell you right now. This is my personal opinion. You may think differently, but this is just my opinion. Okay. When I send somebody in, I'm not vouching for them. My job is not to be the hiring manager. The hiring manager has a job to do, and their job is to decide yay or nay. My hands are not on that. If I send somebody in, you still need to do your job and to vet them out and figure out if you like them, if you think they're a good fit, if you don't think they're a good fit. Mm-hmm. Don't just take my word for it. Then you're not doing your job.
No.
The hiring managers are not doing their job.
If they just
step
to add
no, that's
to that.
true.
Right?
That's,
if they just
I
take
can't
my word
disagree with that.
Right? So I'm just going to send people in. I'm going to send them so many people. Here, look at them. Look at them. Look at them.
That's going to go against you. There's another step that you have to take. I've been a recruiter for longer than Trevor's been living.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So you go ahead, John.
Okay.
I cut you off.
No, but he makes a valid point.
Yeah, it does.
He makes a valid point, but you just don't want to do it
willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's called relationship. So,
Yes.
I'll give you an example. So we have relationship, right? And we send people in all the time.
Yep.
I don't always know every single person that I'm sending in. But guess what? They've applied. They want a job. I know, I've connected with them somehow, some which way. So it's my obligation to get them out of that black hole, however which way I got to, because I know that's where they're at. They're in the black hole.
There's one more point to there's one more step
what's your point?
to that.
What's your point?
Now, if John is a hiring manager,
Yeah.
and I'm interested in the company, and you introduce me to John, don't you think it would behoove you to make sure that I am a fit for that job as
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge
Yes.
of that. Because if you keep sending John people that are not a fit for that job, your name is going to get.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this. I don't have time for that. I have so many people
You're
that
gonna
get sent
make
to us.
time for it.
No,
they're gonna prove it to you.
Again, my job is to read a job description
They're
and
gonna
look at a
prove it to you,
resume
Trevor.
and figure out. That's not my job,
They're
though.
going to prove it
Foster,
to you, Trevor.
what I'm trying to
your
tell
name
you.
goes with that.
Okay, all right,
They're going to prove it to you, Trevor.
Foster.
Believe me.
Okay, all right, Foster. All I'm saying is my job is not to be the hiring manager.
No, it's not.
My job is to say, hey, hiring manager, this person just applied.
And do they fit?
Do your job.
Are they even close?
Go figure out
Are
if they're-
they even close
I
to
don't
what
know.
I'm looking for?
I don't know.
I want you to listen to what I'm telling you. I'm not trying to be mean.
I got you.
promise you.
I got you.
But if
You know-
if you keep sending people that are not a fit, they are going to X your name. Trevor keeps sending me all these people. I can't help these people. They're not a fit for what I'm looking for.
Okay, then I'm just not going to say anything at all. That's the two options because I don't have the time.
Then stay out of it.
No. People land jobs, Foster, because of what I do.
I'm a recruiter, guys.
Okay.
I'm not going
People
to tell
land
y'all
jobs,
how long
Foster.
I've been. Ooh, he's getting upset. I'm
Yes.
shutting up.
Yes,
I'm
I
shutting
am.
up.
Yes,
I'm
I
shutting
am.
up. I'm shutting
Yes,
up.
I am. Because you know what?
I've been trying to tell you about the recruiting thing the entire time we've been on the show, and that's
Okay.
over a year.
Okay. Good,
So
Foster.
I could get upset too.
Now children.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't y'all like
I
this?
hate when
Isn't
mom
this
and dad
spirited?
fight.
You know
I hate
what?
when mom and dad fight.
As
Look.
the oldest one in the room. Now children.
Isn't this spirited? You guys chime in and tell me whether I'm lying.
You
Yeah,
both are
chime
right.
in and tell
You
me.
both are right because you are
No, we're
correct. You are correct.
I'm
on
wrong.
on one
I'm
side,
wrong.
no, you're both right because on one side, look, if you are abusing your relationship by not being respectful and sending people that have
Or at
no
least
business
the
being
close.
sent, then
Yes.
then that's an issue. So that is correct.
Yes.
But also on the flip side of the coin, Trevor is also correct. Like we're making a warm handoff. We think highly of this person. We've met them in a professional setting.
Right.
And we think, hey, they could be a very likely candidate for
Good
this
point.
position that you're hiring for. Why don't you guys have the conversation and see if it's a good fit? If it's not,
Absolutely,
That's up to you
because
guys.
they may fit the job description, but they may not fit the culture.
that's right. Right. Could be totally off on something else.
I think the biggest thing is communication. You have to level set.
Amen.
To be able to say that.
I've
hey,
been a recruiter. I'll and Chris, you're right. I've been a recruiter. I've been held to these standards. That's
Yeah.
why I'm so adamant about speaking in the way that I do, because I lose my job if I don't send those people that what they're looking for.
The right people. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's a little different, I think, from your perspective, Foster,
is,
versus
it
us as lay people because
It is,
we,
yeah.
Well, okay, there you go. I think
if
that
that's
is
what you wanna call it.
That is the
Non-recruiter.
difference.
That's
not
very true.
recruiters.
That
yeah.
is the difference.
I'll
right?
agree on that.
That
one.
is the difference. Is I'm actually not a recruiter, so my job is not to vet them. A recruiter's job is to vet them,
Yeah.
to say, you know what, and then sell them to the hiring manager.
And Mark's phrase, a warm handoff,
Yep.
and what he described with that makes a lot of sense from our point of view. I was never a recruiter either. I was on hiring panels, and I also had to interview applicants individually because they were going to serve on my team or something like that. But I was never a recruiter. And I didn't have the final hiring say, but I had
We don't either.
I had the input.
Yeah.
Right.
So from an outsider's perspective, not coming from the industry, it's more of a, hey, I think highly of this person. I would love to help them, and if I can help them, they're interested in this job. They've applied for the job. If I can help them get through the applicant tracking or around the applicant tracking system by a warm handoff.
And get to a human being.
Yep.
In an ideal situation, that is absolutely true, but we are not in an ideal situation, and there's not time.
Totally. Well, and there's also, there's exceptions to every rule, and, but I think it's number one, the spirit, right? What
Yes.
is the spirit
That is the right
that
spirit.
you are,
yes.
that
And
you're
I agree,
doing
Trevor.
it,
That
you
is
know?
the right
Well,
spirit.
and
spirit
I
and the
can tell
intent.
you,
Right.
I can tell you, I know what, like, I understand your point of view too, because there was this particular person, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but they had applied over and over and over and over and over again, right? And
Right.
been told no over and over and over, but they just kept going and going and going and going, and eventually it was like, on the hiring side, they were like, look, man, like, this isn't going to happen.
We're not going to hire that person.
Like, it's not going to
Period.
happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And all they wanted was, just some feedback, and so we
Thank
got
you,
some
Orlando.
feedback. But and I also think it's there's some, I think it all. Like I said, I'm not the recruiter. My job is not to be the recruiter.
We understand that.
I just want to get a handshake going and see if I can get a conversation going and take it from there and get feedback. That's the most important thing. Feedback.
That's important.
Well, let's get to John Luse and Frisco Connect.
Yeah.
This has been a fun show.
Oh, that was fun.
This was
Foster. That was fun.
I think,
guys, y'all know we love each other, right?
We do. I do.
I think y'all should fight.
I like his spirit.
I think y'all should fight.
We're going to send you guys to counseling.
I love his spirit, but I am a recruiter, and guys, I will tell you what you do not want to hear. I do not have a problem with that.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't fight Foster, man. I see that. I see that
fat.
dude. That
He's
dude's
at the
always
gym.
posting at the gym, like
That don't mean
putting
nothing.
up pounds.
I'm putting up this belly.
Foster's got old man strength.
I got old man.
The amount of weight that I lift is equivalent to a 5-year-old child.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
it is a 5-year-old child.
Okay,
Right.
this got
Yeah, you got time
squirrely
to-
real fast. We got purple
Oh
squirrel.
yeah, we
real
got
fast.
John.
Yes.
Hey John.
Locke, are you listening? We use your phrase.
Locke will agree with me. He's heard me have that conversation forever.
So,
Hey,
guys, John Luse. John Luse is here. John Luse,
Thank you.
thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely.
I know we got a little
Thank
crazy,
you very
but
much. Thank you.
we want to talk all about some of the different things that you volunteer in. You've got a spirit for this. How long have you been giving back to this network and volunteering in this capacity?
Well, I've been volunteering consistently since for 6 years.
Yeah.
But when Frisco Connect first started up, it was known as the group Reach Up, Reach Out, and that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I was looking for employment at the time. I was attending South Lake Focus Group.
That was before Rail Page, wasn't it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And,
like many people, you started off as a job seeker
That's right.
and felt led to volunteer.
Right.
Love that. Okay.
Yeah. And South Lake encourages people to volunteer all the time.
Yeah.
It seems that volunteers land faster for some reason.
Yeah,
does.
we just had a lady the other day in at Frisco Connect. Remember, I introduced
Right.
you to her. She, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she said
she wanted to volunteer.
yeah, she came up to me and she said, "Oh, I had a conversation with Holly the other day. Holly got me inspired, encouraged, lifted up, and she was like, I feel just led and I have to do this. I got to give back." So
There's that spirit again.
she's like, "Who do I connect with? Where do I go?" And I was like, "John Luse."
yeah.
And the seed of Frisco Connect was planted by pastor at Stonebriar, Steve Fisher, who
Yeah.
this was a time when the recession was going on and there were a lot of people out of work, and he's in care ministries, so he had people coming to him all the time. I'm out of work, things are falling apart and whatnot, and they needed ministry. So he started Reach Up, Reach Out, and we started having presenters, and then two guys by the name, one is Bill Richardson, who's still with us, and David McKee, who has gone home to be with the Lord.
Unfortunately.
Started attending, and they recruited this guy over here, Mr.
The Job Father.
At
the
our
Job
IT
Father.
focus group.
And we put together what is now Frisco Connect, and we've been going on Frisco Connect for 8 years.
For 8 years.
Totally, it's been 10 years from the beginning. And there are always people showing up. And the same, we have an auxiliary meeting on Friday mornings called Reach Up, Reach Out, meaning reach one hand up to God and one hand out to each other.
Where it started anyway.
Right, and that was the original part of it. And that's a small group meeting that, thank you very much.
Wow.
That was
Mark's awful with the sound effects. Yeah, he just.
What are you talking about?
That was random. It was just so random.
I think he wants to be a producer. Anyway, so with Foster's help and part of the Career Search Network, and he talks about me all the time. We couldn't do it without him because he's a connector.
He is.
He is a connector.
That is the connector.
I am the most
Sometimes people think Foster has jobs in his back pocket, but he doesn't. But he connects people, and that's what you guys.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are helping to do as well. And
totally.
It's all about people. God built us to be in community, and that's what it's all about.
I have a passion, and John knows what he's doing.
Well, I think it's apparent, through both of your conversations that you're both passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, both me and Trevor. That's obvious. That's easy
So
to
passionate.
see.
We're about to
Drop the
mic. No. Me and Foster, we love each other.
So,
Come on.
I've
John,
been a recruiter too long.
can you talk a little bit more, because there's Frisco Connect, but then there's the whole network, or what am I trying to say? The whole web of support that the church provides beyond that, which is, reach out, Frisco Connect, but then there's the prayer group, right? And Pastor Steve and the prayer cards that Ed collects every week. Yeah. There's a benevolence, right? The church has probably some kind of benevolence.
As most church communities do, there is a benevolence program. And, of course, that there's limitations to that because of the IRS regulations and whatnot. So people are welcome to apply, and they will be held accountable and for the information they provide. And it's an intense process, but the whole object is to help them stay on their feet or get back up on their feet and take care of the necessities. And that's another thing about North Texas. There's an immense amount of groups in the area that help with that. Frisco Family Services, Christian Community Action, etc. So there's a lot of help available. But at the Frisco Connect meetings, we as a faith community, we believe in prayer.
Absolutely.
We believe that God listens and hears our prayers. He even knows what we're going to pray for before we say it. And sometimes the answer is no, and sometimes his answer is not what we want, the way we want to do it. It's the way he thinks it should be done, and being all-knowing, he knows best. But what we do is we have on the tables at our meetings, we have little cards that people can fill out. One side is for comments and feedback, so that we can learn what the need of the employment-seeking community is, and can work on programs and presentations that will be helpful to people. And the other side is a prayer request. And we put those slips in a box so they're kept confidential. And one of the members of our community, Ed Medlick, who's a veteran and just a wonderful, loving man, takes those, and he and a team of people at Stonebriar pray over those requests faithfully and keep them in confidence to support people spiritually. Because when you're unemployed, as I say for first-time attendees, by the way, when you attend your first Frisco Connect meeting, after our general meeting, we go to a welcome lunch with some light refreshments.
Oh, man, y'all had Olive Garden the other day. What you talking about, man?
Well, that was an exception.
It was good. I was ready to.
I didn't know about that. I was going up there.
There were certain logistics that we had to go outside our normal things.
It's always great. Y'all have a great setup. I'm telling you right now, what a blessing.
We got iced tea. We got water.
What a blessing.
Chips,
you just
we got water.
Water.
I'm curious. So, because Frisco Connect has been such a great group and longstanding group, and you've been, with the group 6 years, I think you said, what's maybe the most significant change in the last 5-6 years that you've seen as far as what job seekers need and what they have dealt with in the past, like what they need now versus what they?
There's no easy answer to that, Mark, because some people. We meet all kinds. Like I said, it's a general networking group. So
yes, we do.
We get people in there who are out looking for employment for the 4th or 5th time in 10 years, because the average length at a position these days, unfortunately, the way corporate America works is 3 to 5 years, or there are other stats on that as well. But there have been many people there who've gotten furloughed from 25, 30-year careers, and they're just lost. They're like deers in the headlights.
Yeah.
I haven't had to update my resume in 25 years. They're totally unaware of all the online resources that are available.
Maybe they never had a resume, ever.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
A lot of times, yeah.
Do you think it's primarily the strategies and the needs are the same? But my guess is it's primarily technology. It's just the advance and the change.
The use of technology and where to obtain your info, and the internet's got great stuff and it's got a lot of garbage too. So it's a matter of helping them discern what works and what not to waste your time on.
Right. Okay.
And so good, wholesome. I don't know where that word came from, but reliable information on where to go.
Something I think super important in the job search is time management, right? I think,
absolutely.
And a lot of these folks, they don't have that skill. I'm just going to say it. They don't have that skill. And if we can
John
just
is my time management.
if we can be really good at time management and work our calendars and where are you wasting time? Like, what's not working?
Plan your work and work your
plan. Yeah. And, I see a lot of folks, I know the resume is important. One of the things that I tell people is that you need to have a good resume, but it doesn't need to be the perfect resume. You know what I'm saying? Because
there is no such thing.
Because it's not getting through anyways. It's going in the black hole. I don't care what you do. It's going
what
in the black hole.
What does a perfect resume look like?
Me.
The one to get you the job.
Yeah, right. Yep, that's right. That's the most perfect resume.
Yeah.
And time management, absolutely. But it's plan your work your plan. A lot of people who've been at positions for a long period of time, they're focused on that. It's their identity, which your employment shouldn't be. But we get caught in that trap. And the other thing is that a lot of people, especially my generation, baby boomers,
well, I'm kind of in that too.
They're behind the curve on technology, and they get totally lost on how to manipulate and how to make LinkedIn as efficacious as they can. And so we try to help them along those paths, or point them to resources that can get that education. Yeah. And the other mindset I have with the guidance we give them is to do it all with the most minimal cost out of pocket, because your revenue stream is impacted. Mm-hmm. You're trying to maintain your family or your household, or supply for your loved ones. So we try to make them aware that a lot of the help out there is there at no cost.
Yep. Yeah,
but it takes their initiative and their work.
Yep.
To use those resources and get the most out of it that they can.
Yeah, there's a ton of free resources out there.
Who was talking about that? I know we got to go to break, but I just want to bring that point up, because was it yesterday that we were having a conversation with somebody at maybe Frisco Connect, and they were talking about how, if you're stuck on the side of the road and you're sitting in your car, nobody's going to stop and help you, right? But if you're out of gas, let's say, but if you were sitting there pushing your car,
right,
everybody would stop and help and be like, hey, they'll help you push, right?
Right.
I mean,
because if you're just sitting in the driver's seat, they don't know what the deal is. You may have stopped to do a text message.
Right.
Yeah. People want to.
Hopefully.
I believe that of God. God helps those who help themselves.
Well,
right?
that's not in the scripture.
We hear that all the time.
But I feel like it's true, though. If you just sit there and just don't do anything,
right,
Ephesians,
you're not going to. But, I agree.
That's Ephesians 104, verse 22. All right, guys, we got to go to break.
Before we do that, hold on. Monkey Butt, will you pull this up in the stream real quick? I'm going to stonebriar.org / job seekers. There's a lot of great resources right here. This is their site. Reach up, reach out. You can connect with it right there. Frisco Connect. The career transition workshop. So that's about once a quarter.
Do me a favor. Yeah. Click on that. Learn more.
Learn more. Let's click on the learn more. See where it takes us.
I'm hoping it'll confirm the date I gave early. I'm hoping it'll confirm.
Let's see.
Nope, they haven't updated it yet.
That's not updated. We are past September. But
I'll get on that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
we'll get that. January, sometime in January.
January 31st.
We'll get that information out. January 31st?
Yes.
Oh, January 31st. See that? Easy peasy. Guys, connect with John Luse and connect with Frisco Connect and Stonebriar Community Church. They have a lot of great resources there. John, thank you so much. If somebody wanted to reach out to you from the show, what would be the best way?
They can reach me on LinkedIn, of course.
Okay. Amazing.
LUSE, guys.
I'm posting that right now.
All right. Guys, we're going to cut the break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we got Christopher
Plumlee.
I wanted to say no. Plumlee.
Don't go there.
No.
Plumber, don't go there.
All right. LinkedIn, let's holler at our audience real
let's
quick.
See who's out here. Oh, so Frank Lott says, for veterans, the VA has wonderful resources for re-education, and the Workforce Commission vet rep is eager to help as well.
Orlando said, calm down.
Yeah, we were getting after it.
I love it. Bez says, gotta love the passion you both have for people.
And we do.
I love Tommy. Tommy wrote, hashtag WWF SmackDown.
Oh, man, Monday. I'm on all the NASA channels go on Monday.
Tommy had another great comment, too. Without a test, there can be no testimony.
Amen.
We got to talk some more, Tommy.
That is deep. That's deep, Tommy.
All right, guys, we want to know what you are searching for. Put it in a hashtag in the comment section. I'm going to go back to our last segment. We have a few people that did that. So we got John, hashtag CPG, Yolanda, hashtag QA. Yolanda says hashtag Toyota. That's her dream company, okay? Toyota, I know y'all are listening right now. We're going to be at your door December 6th. Yolanda, I really think you need to come to TalentNet, okay? You need to come check out TalentNet Live December 6th at Toyota World Headquarters. They're going to be there. You're going to get to be in their face if you want to. I'm just saying.
There's a couple of people there, Yolanda, I'd like to introduce you
to. Yeah, we'll get you face-to-face. That's what this is all about. Let's get you face-to-face. Tim Robertson, how are you doing? Good to see you back with us, man. He made an amazing video, y'all. Tim made an awesome video.
Did he?
That went viral. Tim, I don't even know if you know that it went viral, but it did. Went really good. So I loved that. Elizabeth, how are you? Good to see you. Yolanda also says USAA. That's another one of her companies. So if you guys know anybody at USAA.
We do, Yolanda. I've got a wonderful person that we actually had on the radio show that is at USAA, and she has the extreme spirit of networking.
There was another gentleman from USAA who there was a gentleman from USAA that was at one of the Frisco Connect meetings recently. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name right now.
Yeah, because he had just landed that not too long ago, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got a good one here. So Norma, how are you doing? She says, human resources, Park Place Motor Cars. Norma, connect with me. Send me a message. Remind me of this because I got some connections for you.
Yeah, Norma, you really do need to talk to Trevor on that
Park
one.
Place.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to you all about them cores. I know all about them.
Hey, George Kaczynski's back. Hey, George. Supply chain management, he wrote.
George.
Yeah.
There's Christopher Smith. Congratulations, Christopher.
And you know what, guys? You should also, all these people that are commenting in, love that. You need to help each other. What if you had, because we got over 100 people commenting in with us right now, right? Over 100 people.
Mm-hmm. And y'all need to share it too. Share it. Let's get up to 200.
Well, yeah, that's great. But what if you decided to take it upon yourself to go out and reach out to everybody else in this live stream and try to actually help them? What could happen? Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Recruiters. Andrea Prater is a certified fraud examiner, and she put Wells Fargo. So if anybody from Wells Fargo is listening, you guys check Andrea out.
Hey, Andrea.
John Hamer. Is it Hamer or Hammer?
Hamer.
Hammer?
I would say Hamer.
I would say Hamer. One M.
Because there's only one
Two
M,
vowels,
right?
one M.
Okay. John Hamer,
That's my
USAA again. So USAA is getting a double shout out on this platform.
They're a marvelous organization.
Yeah, of course. So John, I would like to hear. He sent me an email the other day. So John came through our workshop. He started using the Bomb platform that we talk about all the time, right? And he sent me a little note that's he can see how many times they're watching his video and stuff like that. So John, I'd love to hear your comments about that and how, if anything, if you're still getting views on your video, that's awesome.
All right.
Curry, we got to get you back on the show, Curry. You're a recruiter, man. You need to be in here. You know what I'm saying?
Let's bring it back.
All right. Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
Because why?
Well, what you know is important,
but
who you know can make all the difference in your job search.
That's right. Hey,
absolutely.
We're here with Christopher Plumlee. Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good to be with
Thanks
you
for
guys.
Chris or Christopher. What do you prefer?
All my friends call me Christopher.
Or hey, you.
Yeah, we all say Christopher.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
Especially if it's barbecue.
Well, thanks for coming. You got some great stuff to share with us. You were at Frisco Connect.
I was, yeah.
Yesterday, I guess. I was going to say the other day, but that was just yesterday.
Yes, it was.
I've slept since then. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, because you're with
the Elevate Strategy Group. They used to be AIM 51, so we want to go through that a little bit.
Yeah, tell us some more about that.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to thank you guys. Real privilege to be with you. And just want to commend you guys on what you guys are doing in the community. I was there. I've been to Frisco Connect a couple times, South Lake a couple times.
Yeah.
Christopher comes by to visit us, Yeah,
just come hang out with you guys for a little bit.
That's a spirit, you guys. I know y'all know I'm a pastor's son, but that is a spirit of caring that creates things like that.
Absolutely. So what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. You're giving these people guidance and some direction, and I saw a lot of hope yesterday, which was heartening.
Yes.
But as far as me, spent 25 years in corporate America, typically vice president of sales for North America and some companies you may have heard of, like Nations Bank,
Bank.
Dell, Hewlett-Packard, Kodak. Spent my formative years at Kodak. And about 7 years ago, kind of got fed up with corporate America. I'd risen to a level where the further and further you went up the food chain, the further you got away from the client.
Mm-hmm.
So I had massive teams, and I was impacting a lot of people's lives just from a leadership perspective, which I loved. But I really love to be connected with the clients as well.
Yeah.
So when I was afforded an opportunity to start my own business, I took that leap. And about 7 years ago, started the company. We're focused on a couple things. One is leadership development, training, and coaching. We work with a lot of leaders in workshops around more effective communication, teamwork, how to get your employees better engaged in your mission. So we talk a lot about love, listen, observe, value, and empathize. And we see that leaders really struggle with the EQ. Obviously, you don't get to that level if you don't have tremendous IQ, but it's the EQ that we're seeing people really struggle with.
Ryan, did you hear that?
So we do a lot of workshops. We've got some really incredible clients. We work a lot in the Fortune 500 space. We've got some not-for-profit clients as well.
Okay.
So that's a significant part of what we do. But we also work with clients because of our Rolodex and because of our contacts. We can put them in front of C-suite executives that can help them make a decision on their particular service or software or solution, whatever it is. So typically, clients are calling on Bob in purchasing. Bob's a great guy, but Bob's not making any decisions.
Right.
So clients will pay with us and connect with us to make sure that we can open doors for them into the C-suite, and they're talking to the person that can ultimately say yes. As I shared with Foster about 5 years ago, because of my Rolodex, people reach out to me when they've lost their job or in transition, and they say, Christopher, holy cow, I haven't. Our average client hasn't looked for a job in 12.5 years. To your point, John.
Yeah.
And so that skill set is atrophied. So they don't know how to look for a job.
Absolutely.
They don't know how to interview. Their resume is not remotely reflective of their background, skill set, and acumen. So we help them with that. But the real value that we can bring is we put them in front of 4 opportunities that look like exactly what they want to do. So for our clients, we're not having them go apply online, because typically when you're applying online, that job's already filled or about to be filled, or you don't see the specific keywords that they're looking for. So to Trevor's point, it just goes into a black hole.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you in front of the person that can say yes to your job with that particular organization. And I love what Foster was saying, and I do hate it when mom and dad fight, but
That's family. Yeah.
Clients will take my call because I know them. And when I call them and I send a resume over, they know it's somebody that can help their organization.
It's value.
They may ultimately decide to go in a different direction, but I'm not going to send somebody who's not really an A player. And so that's kind of the value that we can bring in helping them with their job search.
Sure. Yeah, we, and kind of back to that, Trevor and I both have really kind of taken this perspective or this approach that, we are in our networks, our goal is to network with as many people as possible, to help as many people as possible,
Absolutely.
to impact as many people as possible. And so that's a little bit of the difference between kind of our philosophies of why we address it, the connections that way.
Well,
let's help as many people as we can, and ultimately, since we're not the decision makers, we can.
Well,
make that.
yeah, my job is not to be the applicant tracking system, or
Right.
I'm not a recruiter. My job is not to weed people out. My job is not to tell people no. My job is to say, hey, you know what? This person just applied at Toyota. I've got connections at Toyota. Let me introduce you to some people at Toyota. Or, hey, this person just applied at New York Life. I got connections at New York Life. Hey, here's their
Right.
info.
But here's my point, though.
They need to do their job.
Here's my point, though. And I totally agree with that, but here's where I was going with that is you want to be somebody who, when you call, they're like, oh yeah, I'm picking up that call.
Definitely.
Or if I send you somebody, like, we have to take a look at that person.
And they do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They do.
And I think at the end of the day, what we're seeing is it's all about relationships, communications, and setting the right expectations. So a lot of times people will call me and say, hey, so-and-so used you as a reference. And I say, well, let me be crystal. I know that person on a personal level. And as far as just a personal level, you can't find a better person. As far as vetting them for your specific job, I can't make a comment on that.
That's up to you. Yeah,
So
that's up to them.
I think if you level set the expectation.
Exactly.
Now, if I know the specific job, I can say, hey, I've worked with this person in the past. If you're looking for a true, highly skilled, highly competent, highly capable hunter, you're not going to find a better
This
person.
is them.
So,
Yep.
so I think it's just a matter of communication and setting the level of expectation.
It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And we say this all. Trevor, you say this all the time. communication. That's the key to a good relationship.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that is the biggest
Absolutely.
key to a good relationship. You got to be able to communicate well, and there are some people that and I know, and Foster and and I know that probably should not be applying for that
A
job.
lot of those.
Right?
But you guys touched on it eloquently earlier. Looking for a job is a full-time job. So if I see that you're applying for a job that's not a good fit, I'm going to tell you you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Let's look for something else that's a more dynamic fit for what your skill set is, and let's have an honest, candid conversation with each other. Yes, I know 5,000 people in Toyota, but based on this job rec, they're never going to talk to you. I can get you to talk to somebody, but they're just doing it as a favor to me. So they'll have a cup of coffee and cherry Danish, but it's an abject waste of time.
Right.
I like that.
Let's try to find a better fit for you, and let me help you in that endeavor, because otherwise time is of the essence. And so we want to make sure that we're leveraging your time in the most appropriate way possible.
I love that. I think that's amazing. What would be nice is if the companies would actually do that.
In
Most
doing
definitely.
so,
Most
guys,
definitely.
if you're going
Right?
to introduce somebody to someone, you have a conversation with them and you ask them, hey, why are you applying for this job? Tell me something, because I have a relationship there that I can endorse you. You can help me make that communication to who you want me to introduce you to.
Definitely.
I mean, no, we don't have to all be recruiters, but that's easy.
No
I
doubt.
mean, we need to be making that communication.
Absolutely.
I asked John this earlier. What do you see, maybe over the last 5 to 10 years, has changed? You're helping a lot of people, you're networked with a lot of people, and probably referring a lot of people. So, what do you think? What have you heard as far as the folks that you're working with and the changes that have been made in the job search landscape?
Understand, I come from a conventional sales background, and so now you're put into a position where you are selling a commodity you should know pretty well.
Yeah.
But most people just don't feel comfortable selling. And so they'll go in and they'll have a conversation, and that's it. And I say, well, did you ask for when they're going to make a decision and when's the appropriate time to follow up? Well, no. Well, you should follow with them this week. Well, I don't feel comfortable. So that's the biggest thing, is that skill set is atrophied because they haven't had to use it in a long time, number one. Number two, technology has changed dramatically. Number three, life is all relationships.
Absolutely.
And it's not who you know, it's what you know, but who knows what you know.
Right.
And so we just had a client that came out of a Fortune 500 company. He'd been there for 27 years. His first job out of MBA school, and he thought, another 10 years, I'm done. I can ride off into the sunset. And they called him in on a Friday, said, we love you. We're going in a different direction. And so we were able to contact a person that was on a board of a company that we knew would be a dynamic fit. And we were able to get him in that way. But I had to shepherd that process just because they didn't feel comfortable selling themselves, if you will.
Right.
But you got to get comfortable because it's highly competitive out there, and no one's going to sell you better than you can sell yourself.
That's right.
Sure.
That's
Sure.
right.
Yep. You're your own best spokesperson.
Absolutely.
I managed teams in customer service, and then we introduced the selling component to upsell, and they said, "Oh, I can't do sales," and I had to tell them, "You're selling every day of your life."
Absolutely.
Too late.
When you convince your kid to use the toilet instead of something else,
Oh man.
you're persuading them.
You
You're
should
selling.
tell 'em-
I didn't think we would go there, John, but yeah, your point is valid. Your point is valid.
When they say that, you should say, who you selling? Who you trying to convince?
Who? Yeah.
Persuade.
You, me? Who you trying to? Who
What you talking about, Willis?
Right? Yeah, who you
Uh-huh.
selling?
Absolutely.
Shoot, every day is sales.
But spot on. You're always selling yourself.
You're always selling.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. Well,
Well-
guys, for the radio, that's our show.
Yep.
It is all about
Who y'all
know.
But LinkedIn, don't go anywhere because we want to have a quick conversation
We're
with you
gonna
before
keep
we
going.
go. So,
I love the way Chris said that. He said, "It's not all who you know; it's what you know, and who knows what you know."
Yeah.
who knows
That
you?
is very
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, who knows you?
And what you
and,
know.
and what you know.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's really not. I mean, I like the name of our show. It's who you know, right? It's not what you know. It's who you know. But it's not really who you know. It's who knows you, and then who knows what you know. Who knows what you know? When who knows? Who knows?
Who knows you and what you know?
Who knows?
Who's the man sitting next to the man sitting next to the man?
Right.
That'd
I don't
be
know
the
that-
man.
Yeah, that won't fit on your placard, but yeah. So it's critical though. So you got to get out there. And another thing you guys said I think is spot on too, is that in a sales capacity, you fundamentally understand that it's a numbers game.
Yes.
So I've got to touch X number of folks. So you better have a plan every day to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get to 2 social events every week. I'm going to hand out my business card and have a conversation, a cup of coffee with at least 10 people that could profoundly impact my job search. And so at the end of the week, we hold people accountable. If you come to me and say, well, I only got to 6 or only got to 7, so hey, we got to pick it up next week because you gave me the numbers.
Right.
You gave me the number of 10.
Right.
You only did 7 this week.
That's
Yeah, you did
accountability.
So we hold people accountable for that. And,
I love that.
I love it too. As a matter of fact, that brings up a great point in that, a lot of people, they don't want to sell, right?
Right.
And, they need to learn how to sell
Definitely.
because that's what the job search is. But the point that you brought up about, hey, you need to know what volume and activity you need to create in order to get what you want to get. Because, like, think about this. Like, when we were trained.
Yeah, it's how many sales calls do you need to make?
How many cold calls, how many warm calls, and boil that down.
It's numbers.
Right?
It's sales. It's numbers. So here's the cool thing I want to talk about real quick. So for the introverts out there are some introverts out there that are going to these groups. I know them. They're terrified.
I used to be one.
Okay. So did I.
John, yeah.
So the introverts, networking can be a little bit terrifying. You get out in these groups and you're just, you don't even know how to say hello to somebody. You're just frozen, right? So guess what? LinkedIn is the networking group that never closes. It is the 24/7. It is open 24/7 a day. It is a networking group. It is the biggest and baddest one out there. Matter of fact, you can get a lot of information on somebody right there from that platform. So if you're an introvert, I'm not saying don't get out of the house because I really do want you to get out of the house, but you could use LinkedIn as a tool, and if you know how to use it correctly, you can actually still be in your nice warm comfort zone, okay? And if you just apply it the right way and get people's attention and get conversations started and have phone calls on a daily basis, like what I teach people in our workshop is to have 2 conversations a day, every single day with decision makers. 2 a day. I need 2 a day, every day with decision makers. Not just somebody who knows somebody. I need the decision maker. And guess what? LinkedIn's going to show you where they're at. I can look them up and find them real quickly. Now I got to get their attention, though.
Right.
How do I get them to respond? That's what we're going to teach you in our workshop. So you guys need to come out, and we're gonna get you some technology.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we only have a handful of spots left for Monday.
Yeah.
So this coming Monday. So get in where you fit in because they're going to go quick, and do not slow down. It is Thanksgiving. Like Black Friday sales are already out.
Oh,
yeah, they are.
As a matter of fact, I was looking at TVs last night. But anyway, make sure that you don't slow down. They talked about that in Frisco Connect yesterday. There are a significant number of people that slow down, and if you are not one of those that slow down, guess what? That increases your odds right there.
Absolutely. I had a gentleman ask me at the welcome meeting after the General Frisco Connect meeting what I thought about applying for employment at this time of the year. And I said, well, the dynamics have changed. Even though you're in the fourth quarter, people are looking for people on the new budget that starts January 1st, if that's their fiscal year. Not everybody's on a calendar
100%.
fiscal year.
Absolutely.
But don't slow down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
that's great advice.
You've got companies that have to spend their budget right now.
That's right.
Right. So
or they lose the position
Yeah.
next year.
So I have to spend the money. I got to spend the money right now. So what it means is that maybe the companies are waiting till next quarter. Some are waiting till first quarter. But a lot of them, they're going to move fast. If they move, they're moving fast. Some of these companies, you've met them where they drag out, and you're like, oh my gosh, they won't fill the position for 6 months or maybe even a year. You're like, that position's still open a year later? What's going on with that?
Here's
No. At the end of the year, like the companies that have budget, they're ready to act.
Here's what we see at South Lake Focus Group each Thursday, guys. We have a time where people who have landed jobs, like we do at Frisco Connect, we have those people line up and tell them how they found their job, where they're going to work, how it all works. Do you have some encouraging words for the people that have not landed yet, that sort of thing? During November and December, that line is just as long as it is in the middle of any other time.
I love that, Fox.
If not longer.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
The same amount, the percentage is the same. People are landing the same amount of jobs. The difference is mindset. That is it. It's your mindset. If
God even said the battlefield's in the mind.
What did Winston Churchill says? Either you, if you think you're right, or if you think you're wrong, either way you're right. Wait, is that how it goes?
Something like
You
that.
fail 100% of the times you don't try.
That's not what he said. But
Y'all look up Winston Churchill.
whether you think you're right or you think you're wrong, Either way, you're right.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't.
Yes,
you're probably right.
Yeah, that's what it is. Whether you think you can't. Yeah, there you go. So if you think you can land a job in November, December, you're right. If you think you're not going to be able to do it, guess what? You're right.
So that's I'm going back here. What does God say? So a man thinketh, so is he.
Ooh,
that's right.
We've had two clients just recently, Trevor, where they got hired because they wanted them to come to the end of the year planning, and they were talking about 2020 KPI. So they said, "Hey, we're going to bring you in the week before Christmas. You'll start, and then you're off for the rest of the year."
Oh wow!
And then two, we had a client that just got hired. They said, "Hey, listen, we've got really a hiring freeze on for the rest of the year, but you're the person, Sue, that we want to hire. So understand that January 2nd, we're going to extend you. We are shutting down interviewing today. You are the person that we want to hire, but we officially can't extend until January 2nd. So what we want you to do is go home and have a great holidays, spin up whatever you want to do, enjoy your vacation, love on your family, knowing that come January 2nd at 8 o'clock,
you got an offer.
You will have an offer letter in your inbox. So I think you're spot on. You can't shut it down right now because people are looking and hiring great people.
Yeah.
Just don't spend all your Christmas cash, because if that offer doesn't come,
oh, it's happened. It's
drink a little eggnog though.
Hey, I got a great comment from John Hamer, and he did write 1M, so we were right. 1M. So interviewed 7 days ago, right? USAA, I think, is where he was interviewing, if I recall correctly. And he said his videos, he made videos.
Plural.
Videos were opened 5 days ago and viewed. Guess what? The director and HR recruiter opened my email again 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. Still in play, I hope.
Awesome.
So
That's
what we're talking
John.
about is the video training that you're going to get at the workshop, the Monday afternoon workshops. Make sure that you come learn that, because
video training. What?
Get yourself
I gotta
out of the
do
black hole.
videos. Wait a minute. But what happens when that company asks you to do an interview on video? Yeah, you're gonna have to do video. Video is part of it, guys. You're gonna have to do video. So
that will
come learn it from us,
going.
guys. We're gonna teach you how to use video to your advantage.
Guys,
you're gonna have to use video.
In probably less time than 5 years, it will be video.
And
we will have to do that.
If you think it through, it's so easy to practice video. You can use your phone camera. You can use your iPad camera. Mm-hmm. You can have a family member or a friend sit there and ask you questions and just record your responses and then watch yourself. People shy away from that. And get used to seeing yourself on video, get more comfortable.
Absolutely. Didn't you do that? We had a conversation about that.
One of my companies, when I was trained to be a trainer in training and development, they put us through a 3-week course. Well, on the third week, we had to give presentations, and this was back last century when we used VCRs. Okay.
What's that?
Right.
And they videoed it, and we had to take it home, and we had to play it through and watch it, and we had to play it in fast forward, and we had to play it in slow motion. And it gave you great insights to what your body language was, what your facial expression was, etc. And it really helped a great deal in becoming a better presenter. So people can do that today in the comfort of their home, on their phone, on their iPad.
For you introverts,
yes,
come to our workshop, because I'm going to teach you how to.
You know what?
You can stay an introvert and learn some cool technology. You can use some videos and be a killer on LinkedIn and get the attention of those people that you need to talk to.
It's a good thing that you had a VHS, John, and you were an early adopter and didn't have to worry about getting it over to Betamax.
Oh my!
Wow!
Real.
All right, guys, we're way over time, and Monkey Butt is looking at us over here. Our studio producer, he's looking at us like, "Get out of here! You guys are ridiculous."
Sign off.
It's that time, guys.
Yep.
That's our show. It's all about who you know.
No, and the Baylor Bears.
And make sure you share.
Hook 'em.
Da Bears.
God bless.